Hey guys, you are welcome to another thrilling episode of The Squash. Today, I am excited. I am overjoyed. I am hyped up. I have three amazing people coming to talk to us. They are talking to us today, and I am excited. I have like a truckload of questions for them. Yes. I prepared. I like, yes, let's make them sweat. Nah, I didn't do any of that. But today is going to be fun. I am excited. And today we have Mary. She is the other lady in our house. You know, today I'm not the only lady now. I have another lady. Mary, hi.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Me too. Mary is the host of Sustaining Creativity. She is a dance coach, a creativity coach. She is a therapist. She is my role model. Like, I want to be you when I grow up. Like,
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
how can you handle all those things? I just handle podcasts and I am going nuts every day. But you do it all so well. I love your hair. I love what you did to your hair.
Thank you. Had to contain it. It was a little out of control earlier. But
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And I have Larry in the house. Larry, let me see you. Let me see you.
Ooh, I'm back.
Oh, he is
Oh man,
fine. I won't stop saying that he is fine. Man, he is.
thank you so much.
This is the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. This is what they were referring to. Larry is in the military and he also has his own podcast, Shameless Pillow
Mhm.
Talk. Larry,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me back here. It's a pleasure and an honor.
yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And Sage. Sage is our two-time co-host. He has been here many times, besides co-hosting. We've talked about pretty much everything. What there is to talk about. The last episode we did was Christmas experience. Was that it? Sage, was that it?
Yes, yes, it was
It was it. And you abandoned
Christmas. It
me.
was Christmas experience. No, we did have segment New Year resolutions.
Yes, New Year resolutions. You abandoned me.
Montana,
We had plans for Valentine.
you
We
calm
had
down.
plans and you stood me up. You legit stood me up. It's fine. I'm coming after
Eh,
you.
I did not stand anybody up. I was lying down throughout the whole Valentine Day, so I did not do that. I was lying down. I'm not
We are
embarrassed.
going to
Please leave
handle
me.
this after the show. After the show, me and you. You know how
There's
to
no,
do
there's no handling. There's no handling. Please, just leave me alone.
it. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for honoring my invitation. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
thank you.
So there's like 9 to 10 questions
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
ask. All you have to do, the only rule is keep it real. Don't think about it too much. The first thing that pops into your head, just
Mhm.
give us the answer. So I am starting with the lady in the house, the
Yes.
blessed amongst us.
Thank
So
you.
how long, Mary, how long have you been doing all three? Therapy, dance, and your podcast. How long have you been doing that?
Oh my goodness. Well, each one for various lengths. I have been a dancer most of my life. I was a trapeze artist I started trapeze. I was essentially raised in the circus. So at age 3, I was a rowdy 3-year-old and got sent to trapeze school. So I've been performing and dancing in various ways since I was 3. And then therapy, let's see, I've been a therapist for the past decade and doing that for the past 10 years. And then podcasting, this is my newest venture. So my Sustaining Creativity podcast launched May of 2020. And yeah, we release one episode every week and we talk all about creativity, what it's about, what it means to be to people how to be creative, tips, tools, and so much fun. So yeah.
The part that got me hung, yes, was when you talked about growing up in how was it? Did you know there are those ball thingies? Is it ball like a ring thing that you have to like jump in and you do that? Can you do that?
No, I don't jump through the hoops, but the rings, which are called the liras, that hang from the ceiling and people do like aerial
Yeah.
dance in them,
Yeah.
those I do, or used to do. I don't do it anymore, but yeah.
Why did you stop?
So many other things came into my life. I went to become a therapist. I still use dance and movement. It's such a huge part of my life. I'm also a tango dancer, so I dance tango, and movement is so important to me. It's something I do regularly for my own mental health and sanity. But the more formal, like trapeze, I have not done in quite some time, but I did it from 3 until I was 20. So 17 years.
We are going to have a dance session. Probably just do something on Instagram. Just start popping and looking. Yes, Larry.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So tell us, how long have you been in the military and also podcasting? How long?
Okay, so military, I've been in for 9, almost 10 years. Joined when I was 21 out of Indiana. Yeah, I've been all over, not really all over, but I've been to, different places. I've lived in Virginia and Hawaii twice. I was in Hawaii for 7 years, and then now I'm in California. I actually started my podcast, Shameless Pillow Talk, back in November of 2019, right before I left Hawaii. And so far, it's been my baby, well, my other baby. My first baby is Roman, my dog. But yeah, it's been an emotional and fun, and there are so many words to describe like just the podcasting adventure. But if I had to do it all over again, I would do it exactly the same. Like I wouldn't change a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Why did you join the military? What did you see that made you join the military?
I was I tried the college thing, and then I was just like, I tried working like, little small jobs. And I'm like, I need to get out of Indiana. Like I need to get out of Indiana. So I remember walking into my recruiter's office and I was like, what's the soonest you can get me out of here? He was like, depending on the job that you get, we can get you out of here maybe a month or two. The only opening that they had was for a job that left in 4 months, I think. Yeah. And 4 months later, I was on a plane out of Indiana.
And you do not regret your 8-10 years in the military. You don't regret anything.
I have no regrets. Like it's been so fun. Like I've met my friends, my family. Like the job is super simple. It's like it's not hard, and it's just I enjoy what I do. Like I feel like there are a lot of people that they rush into it kind of like I did, but then they're always handed the short end of the stick. But I felt like I got lucky. Like I felt like my recruiter really took care of me, and he really like placed me where I needed to be, because 10 years later I'm still doing it. And there are times where I'm just like, oh, I don't like this place, I just want to quit, whatever. But it happens. Like I have my good days outweigh my bad ones, so I'm good.
It happens. Okay. Back to Mary. Mary, you here?
Yeah.
So this is my answer. I don't want yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes. The question I want to ask, I don't want a straight answer. I want a detailed, like, So the question is this: are you happy?
Such a great question. Like, what is happiness? Happiness, you know, so the other day I was doing some meditations and moving meditations to music, and I had this moment of reconnecting to deep inner joy, which brought tears and kind of more emotion release than like maybe what you think of in terms of like overjoy, happiness, but that deep reconnecting to those inner places, those inner corners of myself that in the hustle and bustle of life, I haven't paid enough attention to these days. And it's really where I draw my creativity and my passion and my happiness from. So, yes, I am a happy person and I believe happiness is important and positivity. But that moment of reconnecting to deep joy in my body was so moving and so powerful to recognize, yeah, I have not been connecting to this, and it's a shame, and I miss it, and I'm going to reconnect to it more in a bigger way and share that with more people. Because I think, yes, I do the meditation and movement pieces for myself, but the pieces that come, I get to share with others. So getting to share deep joy with other people in my life just makes me happier and feels like I have more to share and offer with other people.
I am a happy woman. I like
Yes.
when you owned it. You know, yes, I am a happy woman. I love that. I love that you are happy. Why did you go into therapy?
Oh my goodness. I was living in New York City and singing with an Irish band, and I was a nanny. And everywhere I went, people would tell me their life story. And I thought, I should get paid for this.
Oh,
initially that was right. If I was out at a bar getting my nails done on the bus, people would just talk to me, and I thought, wow, this is a curious experience. But I love listening to people's stories. I love talking to people, and so I found creative arts therapies because I felt like just straight talk therapy wasn't creative enough for me. So I found dance movement therapy, and that's kind of what drew me into being a therapist, that there was something more than just sitting and talking to someone. My dad's a therapist, so therapy has been a big part of my whole life. So it's not a taboo topic or subject. Like, everyone's in therapy. It's important. Go to therapy. It's important to have a non-judgmental external person to talk to who's a trained professional who can help guide and teach skills and tools. And I love being a therapist. I love talking to people. I love coaching people. I think it's one of the best gifts to be able to support another human through challenges in their life and help them work through and navigate, the twists and turns that our lives have, and how to make it through and come out the other side a richer, more connected human.
that is a lot. That is rich. You doing that to people, helping them through your issues. Do you have someone or other people that help you through your issues?
100%. I have my own therapist. I have incredible friends who I talk to. I have peer colleagues who are also therapists, and we talk about, where we're finding challenges in our own practice and how to navigate that. I do trainings, but I also have incredible friends that we let loose. We, get to be a little silly and goofy and have fun, and it's not serious 100% of the time. And that is also really helpful and important.
That is nice. That is really amazing. Sage, are you here?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Sorry,
Well,
my network is not on my side today.
no problem. So I asked the question earlier. I said, what is your story? What's your story?
What is my...
Yes.
You just came from... You don't even, you don't, with every other person, you were nice, you know, you made it direct, you made it easy. For me, you're just like, are you
Yes.
still angry about the whole Valentine thing? This is like beef, this is like anger.
No, it's
Calm
not.
down.
I said we're going to handle that off camera. I'm still coming
This is
for
my
you.
whole story. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So I'm the kind of person who loves to do a lot of things, and I don't stop myself from doing anything I want to do. So if you ask me what I do, I will tell you over 10, 20 things. Whatever it is that comes to my mind at any point in time, I just start it, I just do it. So I do podcast, I do video, a vlog. I have a website, a blog where I write my articles. I'm a content specialist for a mobile app, a content app. I edit content, I write articles and all of that. I do videos, I do photography, I do comedy, I talk, you know. So basically, anything I feel like doing, I sing too. I write songs, I'm learning to play some instruments. There's a lot of things. So when you ask me, what's my story or what do I do? I can't pinpoint anything because I like to see myself as someone who has the option to do anything I want to do. I don't have to pick anyone. So what's my story? Long story.
And that is exactly why I put the question that way, because it is so broad. I want everybody to be able to understand why I generalize the question like that, because I can't just, you're
It's a long
doing
story.
everything. You're the jack of all trades. Yes, because you're here and you're here and you're here.
Yes.
What motivates you to get involved in all those things? What is your motivation?
Okay. The goal for everything I do is to make people happy and to be as fulfilled as I can be. So I believe that everything that I can do, everything that comes to mind, every talent I have, every skill it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't by chance. So if I feel like if I find out I can sing, I'm going to try to sing because I feel there's somebody out there who's meant to hear the song that I have. All right. If I want to talk, if I just start getting ideas in my head to talk about, I will put it out there. Even if only one person gets to see it, I believe that everything that I can do, there's somebody out there who needs it, who needs to hear what I have to say, who needs to hear my songs. And there are the little successes that you get. So I wrote a song one time. I just did it for fun. I was just playing around in the studio. I put it out there and someone sent me a message and the response was like, I just did the whole best song in the world kind of thing. It was like, this just changed my life. I'm like, I was just playing with the song, bro. It's not like I was doing anything serious, but I mean, the song actually made a big difference in the person's life. And all of those things, I understand that any little I can do can be helpful to somebody. So I just do it.
That's nice. So the same question I asked Mary, do you have somebody or are there people that still, the way you make people happy, you're concerned about the next person? Do you have a community that still does that for you, that encourage you to do that?
Yes and no. Yes, I mean, I definitely have people. There are a lot of people online, comedians, singers. There are friends that I can talk to, family members. But over the years, I've learned to talk to myself. So, I mean, it sounds crazy, but if it gets too serious and I need to talk, I just talk. I'm alone at home, but I'm just talking. And when I'm hearing myself, say what I'm saying, what I need to tell my.
Okay, I don't think it's crazy.
Myself, but For me, I tell you anything. I mean, you ask me any question, I will answer you. When I need to talk about anything, anybody available, you will hear it that day. I will tell you anything. If you have something to say, fine. If you don't have, it's fine. So because the kind of things that I do are available everywhere, there are good musics online, comedy videos, there are podcasts, articles, everything. So as much as I give, all of things are friends.
Okay. But I don't think it's crazy that you talk to yourself. If I am asked if I have the community of friends or people that motivate me, aside from my family and my teddy bear, I can count maybe 2, 3 persons. And it's not just everything. Why I ask that if we have a community of friends. Okay, before I expatiate more on that, Larry,
Mm-hmm.
dear,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a community or people you talk to inspire you or motivate you? Do you have that?
I do. I have. It took me a minute to find my circle, my tribe of people, but they are, it's a few of them. Like, I grew up not having a lot of friends. So when I got older, you know, when people flocked to me, I was like, oh my God, this is my friend, this is my friend, this is my friend. But then I realized that, not everybody's your friend.
Yeah, true.
Um, yeah, so I definitely can say that I have like my small group of people that actually like motivate me and want better for me. Like my few friends that I have, they'll promote my podcast. They'll ask to be on it. They're like, they're really supportive of me doing it. Like whatever, I choose to do, they always seem to be super, super supportive. And I honestly couldn't ask for a better set of friends. Like I had to weed through and get, the bad ones out, but I did it. I did it. I can honestly say that maybe like the 5 or 6 people that I have right now, they're my best friends. They're pretty much my family.
That's nice. When people say, "Oh, I have a lot of friends," I find that very hard to believe because, as you
Hmm.
said, they're the ones that are not all friends are friends. And then again, for people to actually support what you do or encourage you to keep on doing what you do, it is a different ball game entirely. I thought I knew people, like, okay, not friends, but yes, I
Hmm.
have that contact, and I know, I assume that when I do need your help, you
Hmm.
come for me the way I am available for you. But
Right.
when I started the podcast, it opened my eyes. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I looked for these people. Like, I used a microscope to look for these people. And I'm like,
Hmm.
what happened? I thought you were up to like 50, but I'm seeing just
Hmm.
like three aside from family. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And it
Now
Yeah.
is,
you know.
it
It's
is a
the
time.
struggle.
Yes, it is the struggle. Larry, has there ever been a time where you had no idea what you were doing?
Oof.
Mm.
All
Think back,
the
think back.
time.
Think back.
All the
All the
time.
time. I was
All
not expecting that at
the
all.
time. I remember, I can honestly remember like a specific time, um, starting my podcast. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea how to get into it. I just know that in the middle of the night one night, I woke up and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right now. I did it, created a title, made, the album artwork or whatever. And I'm like, well, do I need a mic? Like, do I need to like how do I record? Like, it was like, if you listen to like the first episodes of my podcast, they sound terrible. Like,
I think
they
it's with
sound
everybody.
absolute. They,
It's with
they
everybody.
sound they sound absolutely horrible. Like the sound, like we didn't know how to work the mic, so it's like, instead of turning it on to record like the entire mic, it was only recording like half of the room. So one half of the room sounds really good, and the other half sounds like so far away. Like we did like this 2 hour thing, and I'm just like, why are these episodes so long? Like it was such a good time, but it was like none of us had no clue what we were doing. Like, we were just, I told my friends I wanted to start something up, and, they were super supportive, and none of us had an idea of what to do or how to do it. Like, I mean, I Googled, like, and researched a lot of things, but at the end of the day, like piecing it all together and like, trying to master it, I had to learn that over time. Like I had to, get feedback from people. I had to I feel like criticize myself super hard. So it's like, I had to go back and re-listen to episodes, like what could I do better? What could I have said better? And with each episode, something new is being incorporated or something's changing, or, like I'm trying to make this better. But now I see, after like just over a year of doing this, like I don't have all the answers, but my knowledge has gone up
Yeah.
tremendously.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Mary,
you.
Mary
Yeah.
dear,
Yes.
has there ever been a time where you had no idea what you were doing?
Absolutely. So many times in my life that has been true. I mean, I think I went to school for acting, and when I graduated, I moved to New York City, and I had literally no idea what I was doing or how to be an actor in New York City or how to submit yourself, because back then you had to like send snail mail to submit yourself for auditions, and it was a lot of trial and error. And then similarly to Larry starting a podcast, no clue what I was doing. Lots of Google, lots of ask Google of like, how do you start a podcast? What are good microphones? Oh, what size photo do you use for the artwork? Or so there was lots of Googling. But I think also other times in my life, just not knowing what I wanted to do with my life has really there's totally been times where I'm like, I have no clue what I want to do. And I have this degree in acting, and now what? There's been freakouts and meltdowns and trying to navigate real life and how different it can be from what our romanticized version, the version we've created in our head versus reality. So I think there are so many moments in my life where I think I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's okay. Like recognizing that it's okay to not know.
Exactly.
It's human to not know. Like you don't have to know everything. And to do something, it's not about being perfect. It's about like finding joy in it or doing something that makes you happy or that you're learning. I never think that we fail. It's either a great story or you learn something.
But the thing, in that moment, we're not thinking like that. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
After a couple of days, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. After a couple of days, it's never immediately. No, we are drowning in the moment of failure. Oh God, it didn't work. Oh my God, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Ah,
But I think there's also sometimes in those moments when we can press pause and say, okay, what am I also learning? Yes, I feel like I'm failing. And what have I learned in this moment also? Even in the moment of failure or feeling like you're failing. At least I have had that experience of, okay, I've had my failure moment. What have I learned? How can I take what I've learned and keep moving forward?
I think okay. I went out a couple of days back. I actually went for a job interview, and I effed up in my head.
Uh-huh.
I was so I was I slept that night, and I was just going round and round in what I said, how I stood. It was okay. Then I think after like 2 days, I was like, okay, now we're ready to learn. What did we do? How can we improve for the next interview? But that moment, no, no, no. I dreamt about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't nice. It wasn't nice at all. At
I
all.
think the more we put ourselves out there and the more we try new things, the shorter that time becomes. The rumination time gets shorter. Like
Yeah, true.
it doesn't last as long the more we try new things, because when we try new things we're actually growing our comfort zone.
Yeah,
So we're
true.
flexing those muscles, but yeah, in the beginning it's kind of going to suck.
It did, it did, it did. Sage, tell us, has there ever been a time where you had no idea what you were doing?
Then let me speak like a supernatural human being. I have
Mm-hmm.
never had any doubt in my life. Everything I want
Wow.
to do, I just
Yeah.
think of it and I know how it's going to go. I know the right thing to do.
Wow.
Never.
Never, ever.
That's not possible. Calm down. That happens like a lot of times. You're always to say that you don't have doubts when you want to do, especially when you want to do something new. To say that you don't have doubts is to say that you are God or that you have the ability to see the future, right? Because for everything, you can't tell how something will end or what will happen tomorrow. You can't tell how the future will go. So deep down, even if you're very sure about what you're doing, deep down, there will still be some doubt. So that one is general, but then there are also like the serious doubts, the type that you don't want to you don't want to do this at all. You're very sure that it's not going to work. That's why I said earlier that I focus on the little successes. So I'm not trying to. I was telling somebody the other day, as I am now, especially in this Nigeria that I'm in now, I am not trying to change the world. I'm not trying to make the world a better place. No, I just want to wake up, eat, sleep, start another
You
day, and
should be
just
jailed
relax.
for that.
I'm not.
You
No,
should be at
see.
toll gate
You know
every
why? You know
morning.
why? I'm going to tell you. See, here's the thing. A lot of people that have changed the world were not
Yeah.
really trying to change the world. They were just
Mhm.
living their everyday life and then something happened. If you're putting that pressure on yourself, trying to make a big difference, you're saying, okay, I'm going to go for this job interview and I must get this job. This year I must save 1 million naira. I must do this, I must do that. When you put all of that, it makes you kind of jumpy. You're not settled, you're not relaxed. You see those people that don't have anything, they know that they don't have anything. They are not even stressing their life. If they make money, no problem. If they don't make any money, no problem. They are just doing whatever they are doing. They are just living. In Nigeria, we call it vibes and inshallah. Just be flexing and just be going like that. Just be enjoying yourself.
So are
And
you
in
saying people
doing
should
that,
not have goals?
have goals, but what I'm saying is ease up on the pressure. When you ease up on the pressure, what that does for you is even though you have doubts, it doesn't stop you from doing it. Because a lot of times, the things that you have doubts about, you do them and they work out. Most of the times, even with all of the doubts, at the end of the day, they work out and they work out well. But if you stop
Yeah.
yourself from doing it because of the doubts and all the pressure, people are so focused on how it will end that they are failing to actually do it. I don't do that. That's why I said I start anything. So I have online, a few days ago, I just searched my name. I was seeing myself on different websites where I registered for poetry. I was just seeing myself everywhere. And probably some of them, I registered, I didn't even drop any content. Some I dropped one, some I dropped two. I just started. And why I always do that. Okay, now I work as a content specialist for an app. I started as a writer. I was writing articles. How did I get the job? Now, after school, I was looking for, oh God, I looked for work. Oh God. Okay, so I searched and I searched for many years. It was really bad. I was staying with somebody. You know all the crazy things that could happen when you're staying with somebody. A whole year, I won't even make 1,000 naira. All right, 1,000 naira. If you put that in dollars, like $10 is over 3,000 naira. So let's say I make like less than $5 in the whole year. It was that bad, you know. And I was at a place where everything was, really terrible. And then this job opportunity came up. I went for the interview, and when I got there, they asked me, where are your works? You want to be a writer for us? Where are your articles? What have you written? And then I went online and I brought those things that I was just doing for fun. Those articles I just dropped on different sites. I had a blog then I wasn't serious about, but anything I want to start, I start, even if I'm afraid of how it will go. And some of those articles, nobody read them. Not even one person, not even my brothers, my sisters, no friend, all of them, nobody would tell me, we're done. No reads, no views, nothing. All right, but I showed them that when I got in there for the interview, and that got me the job. So if you stop yourself, that's the mindset I have. I don't stop myself from doing anything, even if I have doubts. I don't even care about the doubts. So yes, I have doubts, but it's like somewhere at the back of my mind. Let me do it. If I fail, I fail. If I don't fail, no problem. Nobody will come and flog me. I will tell everybody it's my life. And no problem. You started music, you did not succeed, and it's my music. All right. So yeah, I have doubts, but it doesn't matter.
I need that. I need this, your energy. No, you don't get it. Oh God. I am not a perfectionist at all. I'm not even close. But I am an overthinker. Capital letters. I think I should have it tattooed on my back. I overthink before I do something, and it has caused me to stop without even starting. I have stopped a lot of things, and it is bad. I know that it's bad, but it's fear. Let me put it like that. It is fear. I am so scared of what might happen if I do it that I even fail, let me put it like that, before I start. In my head, I've committed suicide before I start at all.
Actually, even me, I'm an overthinker. I think I do that. As I'm here now, I know what I'm going to do if you give me $1 billion. I know what I'm going to do if you give me $10 billion. I've thought about everything. I thought about what I'm going to do when I get married, when I have kids. I think about everything, but I focus more on what's going to happen if I don't do it? What's going to happen if it works out? So yes, keep thinking. Don't stop yourself, because you can't stop yourself from being an overthinker, but change the narrative, change what you're thinking about all the time. So instead of thinking about how I'm going to fail, just focus on how you're going to just be successful. It's just like the way you're cooking jollof rice. You don't focus on whether it will go bad or anything. You are just focusing on how you just eat it and you'll be satisfied. So put that in mind. You could start cooking it and your house will burn down while you're cooking it. You could start cooking it and you mess it up. You start cooking it and something will happen from cooking it, but you don't focus on that. You focus on the joy that is going to come when you're done cooking it. So just change what you're thinking about all the time, and it just helps you out.
Nice. Mary, what do you think about what Sage just said?
We have the capacity to change our narrative. We can change the stories that we tell ourselves. We can pause our thinking when we overthink something. That's where mindfulness really comes in handy, having an awareness of what is, catching ourselves when we start overthinking. And then we have a choice. You have paths. You can continue the path of overthinking, and maybe there's another path of, I'm just going to be here right now, and I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to notice that I want to overthink this, but let me check my facts. What's happening right now? I'm overthinking something. And is that helping me No. Okay. What might help me more in this moment to help reel us back in from overthinking can be really beneficial. And the present moment really is the only moment we have. We're not in the future yet. We've experienced the past already. Right here, this present moment is the one we have choice in, the one we have the capacity to change. So that can be really helpful. That has helped me in my own overthinking adventures when I catch myself. It could be worrying, or it could be, following the path of like, when this happens, it's gonna be amazing. And maybe it won't be when it actually happens, but maybe it will. And yet, if I come back to the present moment, what's happening in my system with me right here, right now, I have the capacity to change it, or I have the capacity to do nothing. And like, that's a valid choice too sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Larry, what do you think?
Me, I put so much pressure on myself, and I am probably one of the biggest overthinkers I know. Like I live in my head. I actually posted that. I was like, my name is Larry and I live in my head and I don't know how to stop. I like my thought process for a lot of things. Like, I feel like, I don't know, it's like, I don't want to say I need like, reassurance or whatever, but it's like, I put a lot of pressure on myself because I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I feel like, you know, like Mari was saying, when you fail, what did you learn? It takes me so long to get to the what did you learn part because I'm just so stuck on like, oh my God, like I failed. Like I was gonna quit podcasting because I was just like, nobody's supporting me. But people were supporting me. It was just the people that were supposed to support me. The people like, my few friends that I was telling you about, like it wasn't the people that I wanted to support me, it was the people that needed to support me. So me, trying to focus on like the big picture it's been a struggle for me. Like I've always, always just focused on like, the little things and, or one specific moment that, created like, the biggest inconvenience in my life when really it was just like something that I could have moved past. But I mean, it's something that, I'm learning. I'm learning every day how to, be better. Like now I realize like, when I'm in my head and, when I'm having like my little thoughts or whatever, I'm like, calm down, take a breath. Let's relook at the situation. Let's start, analyzing, whatever it is that's going on, because one moment keywords I'm just like, oh my God, no, it's all bad, and I'm just like, like I promise I'm working on it. I'm definitely dialing back on, the pressure that I put on myself, because it's a great deal, and it was actually like crushing me, like to the point where I would cry because I'm like, I just bullied myself. I just bullied
I
myself,
can
and I just
relate.
made myself, I
I
just
can
made myself
totally
so
relate.
worthless. So
I can totally relate.
it's been a struggle, but I mean, I honestly feel like you just have to figure out, what works for you, and go with that, because everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of like motivating themselves and getting themselves, where they need to be. But oof, it has been a time.
Yeah, it has. So we are wrapping up, but what has been that one moment you will never forget?
So for me, one moment I'll never forget was when I got my dog. When I
The
got my
baby.
dog, my baby, I'll never forget it. I was I was leaving Virginia, and I was like, I really want a dog. I really want a dog. Really want a dog. And then I got to Hawaii, and there was this Facebook post. I'll never forget it. There was this lady that was like, "Hey, this guy just moved, and he kind of left me with this dog. So I really, I have to get like I ultimately have to get rid of it because I have too many pets in my house." I'll never forget it. I was like, okay, well, can I at least come meet the dog? I, drove the 30 minutes from my house, and literally I step out of the car and he runs and jumps in the car. He runs and he jumps in the car, and I'm like, this is where you need to be. And she's like, she's like, he loves you so much. And I'm like, I've never had a dog. I have never, been responsible for another being in my life. So, I took him home, and 5 years later, well, almost 6 years later, here we are, my
Oh,
baby still.
that's nice. That's so nice. That's really nice. Mary, what is your self-care routine?
My self-care routine. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I let's see. I love baths. Like I could lay in a bathtub or hot tub for hours and read and like soak. I love the hot springs. So I go to the hot springs when I have the time. But in terms of like more everyday routines, I write a gratitude list. It probably doesn't happen every day that I write it down, but I do my best to write down things I'm grateful for. I also, I love to listen to music, and meditation is a huge part of my self-care practice. Um, Exercise is a really big part of my self-care practice, making sure that I move my body. Getting outside, I work from home right now. So there have been days where I haven't even stepped outside. So getting outside has become an important
Yeah.
aspect of my self-care routine. Yeah, so those are the ones that come to mind right now.
I'm looking forward to having the bath, just being in a hot tub. I see it in movies. I see it in movies, and you're just with a glass of wine, and I want that. I will do that. I will do that. I will do that. It's
Yes,
really
it's amazing. Glass of wine and a good book.
good.
Set
Yeah,
for hours.
I'll try that. Sage, if you had one thing to tell the younger version of you, what would you tell that version of you? What would you tell your
First
younger
things,
self?
first things first. I have a serious issue with you. It's like you ask Larry a question. All right, now all the other questions you ask them, and the same question goes around. So you ask Larry, I prepared my answer. I was ready. I was going to tell you that the
I
answer to that
know.
question. All right. And then you changed it when you get to marry. The question changed, and I was like, okay, self-care routine. I was thinking about it in my head. I had my answer, and then you got to my turn, and you just changed the whole thing. You're
Because
just
I know
behaving
you
like a
have thought
typical
about your
African
answer.
mother.
Because
Eh?
I know you
I,
have
I
thought, but
used
you don't think about it. You don't think, just
and
say it. Do
that's
not
why I
escape
had to say this so that I will let my brain put a little bit. Okay.
by time.
If I could say anything to a younger version of myself, I would say continue. That's it. I would say continue. There are a lot of things that I did growing up that, I mean, at the time, they didn't seem good. They seemed crazy. They didn't seem like they were going anywhere. But looking back, I'm glad for everything that I did, everything that happened to me. And they are very important to who I am now. Like I said, most of my major sources of the income are from things that I should not have done growing up. Like when I started writing, everybody was like, this doesn't make sense. You're talking anyhow, you're disturbing everybody, and stuffs like that. I was asked to stop. I was advised to stop, like it was a waste of time. But
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I kept going. I kept doing everything that I do now, my music, all of that. I didn't stop. So and now that's one of the major things that standing on. Those things help make me who I am today. So if I could say something to my past self, I would just say, continue. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep making the mistakes that you're about to make. Just keep doing what you're doing, because older me is happy that you did those things, and older me is enjoying all of those things that you did. So I'm not going to tell myself to change anything. Yes, there are some things that I would like to change, but I'd like to think that I've seen a lot of movies, and in their movies, anytime you change one small thing in the past, it will just scatter everything. Everything will just scatter. I've seen too many movies. Everything, so you just go back and just change the shirt you wore. They will not tell you that because you did not wear the other shirt that day, something happened, and now you are now maybe you are now a beggar on the street, and you're like, because I changed shirts that day. So I wouldn't tell myself to change anything, because I don't know how much would change, because I'm kind of happy where I am now, and I don't know what would change if I tell myself to change something. So but besides that, besides the whole movie angle, I would tell myself to keep doing whatever whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Are you happy now? You have made me stutter. Are you happy?
Yes, I am. I am overjoyed.
Continue.
And this has
You
really
win.
been
Continue.
amazing. In sense, when I had this idea, Sage was the first person I told when I had the idea. I was like, okay, since I have the opportunity of talking or meeting people from different parts of the world with different backgrounds, let's see us as creators, content creators, what we have in common, even with our different professions, even with the different color of our skin. We're basically going through the exact same thing, but battling with things are like, and still the same problem, the same solution. If you actually look at it, it's actually the same problem, the same solution, just few twitches. But this, and I love the fact I was able to achieve this. I was able to achieve this. I know I am not alone in battling with a lot of things that I can't say in the open, but yes, I have gotten the fact that I am not alone, and I know people listening or people watching are like, okay, yes, even with being a graduate, or with being in the military, or with being a therapist, we still have things that we battle, and we still have things that break us, but it's all has to do with how we handle it, and we're basically handling it the best way we know how to. So as Sage said, continue. I think for me, consistency has been one of the biggest things, one of the hardest things. As Larry said, he bullies himself. I do that a lot of times. Oh, Christ. Before I started this recording just today, my mom had to tell me, my mom had to call and like, honey, you can do it. And I laugh. Because in my head, I am thinking of all the things that could go wrong. And the thing is, that scripture that says, as a man thinketh, so he is, it actually kind of works. In a sense, I was thinking of all the bad things that could go wrong. And I suffered a whole lot tonight trying to put this together. My system had issues. My tripod broke. I could not find the right lighting. I could not get the backdrop to. It was a lot. It was a lot. But I think when.
But you won.
Yes, I did. That I needed that reassurance, according to Larry. That reassurance that I could do it. And I was like, when I was doing my makeup, I started listening to songs, and I'm like, yeah, okay, we can do it. Let's go. Okay. And it worked. I think that's why I asked if each and every one of us has that community that inspires, that motivates us. I have my mom, I have my family, and my greatest asset is myself and music. As you know, your greatest fan. Yes, then put it like that. You are your greatest fan. Does anyone have any question for me? Sage, do you have any question for me?
Hold on, not a question for you. Larry, you said
yes.
You're a military man.
Yes, I am.
I know where this is going.
Like the real military.
I know where this is going.
It's not showing in your eyes. You don't have that.
I know.
I want to kill you look. That's the look all Nigerian soldiers have. They have that.
No.
You will die today. I mean, when we see soldiers here, we first of all, you just adjust, you run, you hide, you're afraid, because I mean, you could get slapped for anything. So
Yeah.
you look like one very fresh, fun guy that just maybe you even do music or something. You don't look like you want to kill anybody. You don't look like you want to kill me. That's how
Yeah,
un-Nigerian
you
soldiers
gotta you gotta separate the two. Like I separate, work, personal. I leave work, I'm a different
That's
person. I
great.
go to work. Yeah. I had to create a balance.
Yes, that's great. Nigerian soldiers, they have no balance. They see you, they slap you.
People like Larry make us want to join the military. People like him make us want in another country too, not back home.
Yes.
We can't join the military.
Not this our
It's
own.
not possible.
Not this our own.
No, forget it.
No.
It doesn't work. So, Larry, do you have any question for me?
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so. We had such a good conversation the last time, and I was like,
Yes,
wow.
yes. I haven't dropped that episode yet. I'm going to drop it very soon. Very soon. But
I'm
I'm
so
going for a
excited.
special occasion. I'll just, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary, do you have any question for me?
No, I mean, thank you so much for inviting me to join all of you. It's been such a pleasure and so much fun to chat. And I want to check out everyone's podcast now that I know
I
that they're out
know.
there and cool things that you're doing and writing and producing and sharing. So yeah, thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting further.
Yes.
I already checked
Amazing.
everybody out though. I already checked everybody out. So.
That is our detective in the house. This was amazing. This has been amazing. It's an hour and it's a wrap. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. It was an honor. It is an honor to know you and to have you on the show. To know that I can call you anytime, any day, and you won't say no. You won't say no, right? No one.
Sure won't. Sure won't.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so very much. I will drop your podcast, the title of your podcast. I will drop it along with the link and every other thing, your bio. If I could make a banner, like, a very big poster of Larry on my wall, I would do that. But a lot of people kill me.
See.
I love it.
See, you will not calm down. You will not calm down.
I can't help
Okay.
it.
Continue.
Sage, I cannot help it.
Continue, no problem. I will report you to your people in Benin. They will marry one man and come and give to you. Yeah, there, look at it. They will marry somebody and come and give to you. Be doing all this.
Oh my goodness. I have to hop off because I have to go to another meeting, but thank you so much. And it was so nice to meet everyone.
You as well.
All right.